Welcome back to another episode of the Business of Beautiful Spaces. This is part 2 of 2. So if you did not listen to last week's episode, you're going to want to go back and listen to that first. Last week, we covered core themes and misconceptions of being an entrepreneur, specifically women in entrepreneurship. We covered pivotal career moments. We covered growth, scaling, and control. We also covered work, life, and the myth of balance in owning your own business, along with mentorship, community, and loneliness. So I hope you enjoyed last week's episode, because I know I certainly enjoyed recording it with my friends and fellow SheEOs, but I hope it was able to inspire you and that you could relate to these moments in our businesses. But in this section, section 2, we dive deeper into the internal side of long-term entrepreneurship, less about the tactics, more about the judgment, the intuition, the systems, relationships, and the realities that only show up after a decade of business. Also, there is going to be a conversation about trusting your gut versus trusting the data. I know personally for me, when my gut's involved, it means it's going to be some serious growth, but I have to get comfortable with it. We're going to talk about client selection, revenue, and profit reality. We're going to talk about systems over goals, and we're going to talk about the seasons of life and evolving priorities, relationships, and what a real asset that is. Sounded like I said a swear word there. I did not. I hope you enjoy this as much as I enjoyed making it with my friends, and I'm going to dive into part 2. Welcome to the Business of Beautiful Spaces, a podcast that's specifically for interior designers and decorators. This is the podcast for designers and decorators who love creating beautiful spaces, but also know that building a profitable business, it what makes it all sustainable. Hi, I'm Laura Thornton, and after nearly 30 years in the interior design industry and building a 7-figure design firm, I know firsthand how lonely it can feel running your own business. Making big decisions without a boardroom, without a business partner, or another executive team member to walk things through. That's exactly why this podcast exists. Think of me as your interior design bestie. The place you come for honest conversations, real action items, and a clear to-do list that you can apply today to move the needle forward and improve your bottom line. And if you can't get the answers you're looking for here, one-on-one mentorship with me is always available, because no designer and decorator should have to figure this out alone. My goal with every episode is simple: to help you build a more profitable, confident design business and propel you into sustainable, successful future. So let's dive in. So that's a good launch into this one. This one is it's not a business question. It's more like, okay, I call it trusting your gut decision making. Like, I know when I'm making decisions, big decisions, business or personal, I get a really sick feeling. Like, I get nauseous. But that to me is a good nauseous. That's when I know it's good. But my brain and the data and the analytics and the logic and the thing will always try to take over the gut. But what I've learned over the years is my gut is what is telling me, this is an uncomfortable thing. And usually that's the biggest leap. Uh-huh. So when you have these big leaps and these big decisions, are you go by your gut, or is it logical takeover?
Well, I think you need to back up and say, how many people actually listen to a gut? How many people? I bet you not a lot. It took a long time for me to actually trust
your instincts.
There's a lot of indecision. When I first started 30 years ago, there was a lot of, I was super young in a male dominated industry, and I was constantly self-doubting. And then eventually you're like, okay, this is what my gut is. This is why you have, it's your gut. Let's trust your gut.
Yeah, because
trust your gut is so.
You had the uncomfortable, but you got comfortable, so the confidence is built. Now, what's the next stage? Did you have the same uncomfortable?
And when I get the gut wanting me to, when I want to vomit, I know that's where I need to be. That's where I need to be.
I'm just curious if you're more logic brain. I mean, they go hand in hand. Don't get me wrong.
But engineer. I mean, there's a highly analytical brain wired behind here. But I think trust but verify. I mean, any deal or investment decisions and big stake game. I mean, you often know by your gut, but I mean, I definitely come from the trust but verify and make sure you're looking at every angle. I think around people decisions, like teaming decisions. I'm looking at Caroline here. For me, you kind of, when you make a decision, you reflect back on it. You're like, I probably should have poked more here, and here around like a significant, for me, when I fired on managers or leaders in businesses, like probably should have explored X more. So the gut, I think should be listened to highly there.
I'm a big believer in using your intuition for sure. It guides me in business and personal for sure. And the HR part of me says, use your gut when you are at a crossroads. Go with your gut and then go looking for data to both support what your gut says and refute.
Totally. Yeah.
Totally. Because then you're able to make an informed decision. But I think it has to start with you listening to your intuition for sure.
And I think that's also with like certain clients. Like there's multiple ways that this could be viewed, not just like big business decision. Like I've given up projects because I've had that feeling. I was someone I'm like, fire. Like I should take this because the revenue and the profit margin is awesome. But there's something about that individual. And then I have to do the game of like, can I get past the ick I have for this person? Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, I know I can't hold my tongue. So I'm like, and I'll just walk away from that.
Yeah,
because
right? I'm like, that says no, data says this. And if I factor in the non-quantifiable, like, what am I giving up? It tips it.
But there was a point when I was younger that I would have taken it because it was revenue.
Revenue and for excitement.
Well, like, I didn't put together that if it didn't, like in my head, I'm like, it's revenue. It's my, but then I didn't put together that if we have it, if there's friction, then there's no referral. Right. So then,
or there's a reason. Like,
because back then I could deal with them.
And my,
I don't have patience. So
you do all this work, you price a job, it takes hours and hours and hours and hours, and you curate the relationship, and then you really want the project. You want the project. It's the big carrot, and then you don't get it, and you're like, there's a reason. Like, trust, you're like, it wasn't
it's making room for something else.
It's making room for something else, or that just went totally sideways for somebody else. And I'm so glad that wasn't me. And
the part of it is the ghosting, because typically you ghosted and you don't get, like in our industry, you get ghosted and people don't explain to you. Like, I would love to know what was it. And I do all the things. I have all the follow-up sequence. I've got the magic email. I do all the things. And you can't extract the info. Was it price driven? Was it life change? Like, what was, because it irks me to not know what happened. We were all here. We were all excited. We had to speak to the lead, all the things
we're all on the same page.
And then what happened? Right. And because we don't know, it'll drive me mental forever.
But that's where, again, I challenge you to say that's where you got.
Well, because I always figure something bigger is coming.
That's probably the answer.
Yeah, because I would never do that to someone. So I guess that's why, like, I would always give someone the respect to say, things change. Thank you for the quote. It's not in our wheelhouse. We're going to go another way. Boom, done. And I don't get that.
10 times, it's just that. It's as simple as that. There isn't some mad, recap stuff.
But you still want to know, because my head will play with the answer.
I do wonder how do we help others if we're all using our intuition and our guts? Like, how do we help others get to using that posture? Because if you are just starting out, it's way more challenging.
But I think it's careful, because I think back to, I just think about like meaningful personnel decisions, like hiring decisions and or firing decisions. I think, yes, like there's like, listen, but I think you do the full coursework. Like, because I know you're not saying that. Like, I think because I've been surprised, and I've been by the right decision, I've been surprised by the wrong decision enough times to know that even though I've got something signaling to me that things might not play out as you thought anyway. So I know you're not saying don't do it, but I'm not saying that. But I think every year is different. I think you got to start pattern making. I think certain cues, like I think about one hire I did of this person who's still in a role who's not working out. So I won't talk too much in detail about it. But there were probably things, there was no like big flares, but there was probably topics that weren't discussed when we were recording, interviewing, and offering it up and getting this person ready for the role, that someone stepping into that role should have been all over. So, I mean, that sounds really obvious, but you're also in matchmaking. We all know this. Just like when you guys are going after new clients or new books of business or whatever, you're still in this matchmaking mode. So you can't always have that solid objectivity. But I look back and I go, that's interesting that we never really talked on that topic. So that's back to pattern. That's recognizing pattern recognition. Whereas any other exec I hired, we did park on that topic, and you should park on that topic for some time. So I think that might help.
I did a project. Well, I did project. I'm not going to give details, but it was for a customer, a large customer, a large general contracting company, and they dangled a big, huge carrot in front of me, and I wanted it so badly. But there was a lot of hoops that I had to go through. I was much younger, and I should have listened to my gut. And I go back and I think about this project all the time, because back then it was a tremendous amount of money, and and we did it well. But the company at the time we had hit a downturn in the market, and they were having trouble paying. So you can do the big project for the entrepreneurs or the interior designers that are listening. But, part of the process is also making sure you get paid for the work.
Yeah.
And if you're going to end up waiting over 120 days for that, was it worth it? And listen to your gut, because there were cues I wish I had picked up on, because the data was there. They were struggling. I wanted it. My ego got involved, and I went for the big project, and I ended up waiting a very long time.
But did you get paid?
I did. But in the end, though, you have your covering costs.
Yes.
So where's the profit? Where's the profit, though?
Yeah.
Where's the profit? And in the end, I just thought maybe it would be better doing 10 smaller jobs and making 30 points versus one big job and making 1%. So for all of you out there, listen to your gut, get the data, listen to your intuition. And really, it doesn't have to be big and splashy all the time.
Yeah. I always say there's a lot of projects that aren't sexy. I say this all the time. So anyone who does listen to this podcast, they'll hear it, because there's a lot of designers and a lot of mentors now out in the world that'll tell the designers to put minimums on their website, because I know you guys don't need to know this, but just so you get the kind of context around it, put minimums so that you are getting rid of the riffraff and do this and do that. Well, some people start at $250,000. That sounds wonderful, but what kind of project is this? What are the margins? So you're going to let go of potentially, who knows what, $50,000 in artwork or drapery or something that has higher margins for a minimum of $250 in revenue that means nothing. Your revenue doesn't mean a thing. It's your profit margin that means, or your profit percentage, whatever which way you'd like to look at it. So these people who are telling other designers to have this minimum as a route, to me, is insane, because they have no idea what that project is. So you're better off getting a consultation, get the scope of work to be able to figure out, your margins, where you make money, and figure it out that way, instead of just $250,000 looks good on my P&L. Does it? You didn't pay any bills. That's great. It cost you $249,000.
I'd actually rather make less profit and build a better relationship that has longevity in the future. And now the RAM comes back.
So use your gut as a compass is what I would say.
Yeah.
Right. And use that on where do I need to home pod, and then follow that trail down. Maybe it's not gut always around black and white, like roulette. Like I'm putting it all in on this because my gut tells me so. It's like, I think that just is the compass. This is the heady. Something's not right, or something feels really good. Go down that path, then support it with your data and your other checkpoints.
And always check your assumptions, your biases, if you're stuck. That's the only thing I would say, because often if you are doing some of those gut-based, take to base things, just remember to kind of go back to that. Okay, that made sense, whatever, 5 years ago. Doesn't make sense now, or whatever. Just keep checking yourself too. You're not.
So, Deb, your relationships that you built at Danaher and the other places, have they served you well over the last, has it been about relationships for you?
I think in some way, yeah. I mean, of course, I should say 100%.
Because lately, every time I talk to you, you're having another lunch with an associate. So I'm assuming
her network,
right? That this is good for you.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, I would say,
you never lost track with, or no. Did you always just touch in?
Yeah. I know. Yeah, I'm not a person. You guys probably know what you guys can call me Anna, but I'm not a person who hasn't asked more, with people. I want the connection. So, and that's even in my professional life. I don't don't dance to ask, if that makes any sense. So I think people know that. And of course, now I'm in more of the asking if I want to go there. And yeah, it's paid off tons of dividends because I don't, and it's fun. It's actually really, I think it's always fun too. But I haven't been a person that's succeeded by, oh my gosh, as a corporate dab, I was like championed and mentored by Person X. And I climbed that corporate ladder, which I did, but I did climb it because so-and-so championed me or whatever. No, I was a hard frame. That might be the female thing. That might be changing parents when the company changed. Like I had to rebuild my old. They heard that was great, but here I am, whatever I was, early 30s, having to rebuild that with new American parents, right? And new bosses in town and new way of being. So yeah, it's all to say, I can't say I don't personally feel like I've been able to accelerate by being championed by folks or even in my next roles. I feel like I've been very homebrew and maybe a little too proud sometimes around that piece. But you see those people who do very, very well by being very, by playing that game. That's not the game. I think it's hard to play. Hard to play as a female, by the way, because there's not a lot of females. Here's the sad news. There's not a lot of females. Here's a news flash. There's not a lot of females in power positions. So I love the fact that you guys have a wonderful network, the two of you. I'm looking at Laura Christie, like you'd hear it. I didn't appreciate that you guys have such a lovely, powerful entrepreneurial network that you guys obviously bounce ideas off and also bounce business off. Well, that's wonderful. We should keep doing it because I said it's just really hard to do it.
I think one of the best things I did was build a really good team. Like, yes, my employees aside, they're amazing. Like I said, I don't have a lot of turnover, but like what I mean by a team, like a group of people that I can call at any time, sales reps and vendors and, Ryan, if you're listening, I'm going to just call you out on this. So I have a sales rep who's moving up. He called me just after Christmas and said, good news for me. For him, he's moving up into, a different role and he's management role. And he's becoming like the baked cheese, right? No. And well, that's great. But no, I said no. And he goes, what do you mean no? I go, you could do all of that. No problem. But for me, you're still you. So you need to still be my guy. I go, you can't move up there. No. And he said, well, what do you mean no? And I said, don't assign me anybody else. I am not doing that. I want you. You and I have a great relationship. We have worked together for years and years. I mean, like literally he can finish my sentences. I appreciate and value everything that he's ever done for me. And I'm like, no, you can take that role, but you are still my guy. And he's like, okay, just for you. I'm like, come on. Like it's important. It's my asset.
They want your business. They'll do it. It's your numbers. They will do it.
It's important to have a good team. Really.
Listen, I'm at the point right now where I'm looking, I was really I've had the same preferred vendor list for over 20 years.
Yep.
And I'm the youngest.
See that?
So I'm peppering the questions. Are you? Tell me what's going on here.
Yeah, what's your success?
Like when it's the retirement date, and
that's a problem for me too.
It's something where I'm not gonna kiss the frogs. I don't want it. Like it might actually it actually made me have to rethink my retirement because I have zero interest in trying to figure out who's going to replace some of these people because the quality that I know that I produce and what I am used to doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's right. That's unnerving.
And that's my business. And that's how I built my business. And that's my referral network. And so that is like something that, I now have to think about in 2026 because it dawned on me when I turned 50 and I was like, I'm 50, but I went to your 50th birthday party 8 years ago, which makes you getting closer to 60. So I have to all of a sudden I was like, okay.
The other thing that's happening, Laura, is it happening for you too, where you'll go to a site meeting, I'll go to a site meeting and I'm the oldest person there?
No.
I used to be.
And now I used to get asked if I was the receptionist taking notes
there.
Yeah.
Well, it's also with I was called kiddo in my 30s. Like for just being the young female, whatever. I wasn't that young anymore, right? But it's also, I think I'm not seeing the table. Then you
I kind of wished for you that you still were being called kiddo. I want that for you, but I know that the likelihood isn't there for us.
But it was greeting at one point, right? Like you're being called kiddo, you want to be taken seriously, and then all of a sudden now you're like, no, we're now the seasons. Yes, yes, yeah. And I also didn't give a example where Caroline went to be more intuition gut driven because we do have experience behind our backs too. Yeah.
I was going to get into process, but I feel like that doesn't really need to be covered. What I think I'd rather touch on is the goal setting. Like, do you still, like when we were 30s, looking at 10 years, 15 years, thinking where we are now we're at the other side thinking the next 15 years might mean retirement for us. But do you still have yearly goals, weekly, monthly? Do you still set goals for yourself?
Didn't you just say you were going to go home?
Her body's a temple, this we know.
Well, other than your father being tough, Deborah, but didn't you say you had to go home and write out all what you had to do for the week and for the year, for the month? And I just looked at him. Oh my God. I think that's intrinsically disciplined. You guys probably will laugh at that. Yeah.
We are talking about work, not her social calendar of double booking.
Is your sister coming? Yeah. What's happening, Deb? What's kind of January? Around you. Right. Yeah. I think I'm intrinsically disciplined. So you do it. But I do some of it. I'm not like, but I do reflect. I do objectives. I do where I want to be, but maybe not to the rigor that some folks do personally individual. But I do think now in our stage, like early 50s, that you got to start to back at work. Like whatever you want to throw at it, we're in a different zone. And you just said, you just think about your vendor zone. Like we're all entering, you're just in a different zone and runway. So I do think it behooves all of us. I mean, honestly, to think about what the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, because there's just things now, our runway's just a little different. And it's not like it's over. I mean, my father still thinks he's working full time, even though he's not 91, but he never retired in his mind. He retired to farming and he still thinks he's work. So I'm not saying we're all done, but I think our lives are changing and things can change at our age and stage. So I think it behooves us to be a bit more deliberate in this next decade or 10 to 15 years in my mind.
Yeah. And it's like intentional.
Yeah.
Like if there are things that you want to get done or accomplish, and if you don't put it down, I don't believe it's going to get done. I'm not the best. Okay. I'm not a planner.
Yeah.
I never have been. It's not my strength. I'm more of a let me react. But I see the value in it from a business perspective and from an accomplishment. Like I've always set things in my mind about these are the things I want to get done. Write it down. I just write it down and tell somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right. That's right.
To actually help install it. But I would say goal setting, the formal part of it. I've kept that pretty separate from my personal life, but have helped so many people. And
I know I was going to say,
so many people and companies do it.
So this is your like shoemaker son situation for me. Like as I look at my popcorn ceilings in my living room that we're sitting in, right? Like you do this for people every single day, but we don't do it for ourselves.
I find, it doesn't fill my bucket. Like it doesn't, I don't get jazzed by it. I'm a very results oriented person in that kind of a way. And I look at other people, that I see that do it. I'm like, you get stuff done because you set the target. And that's,
as I said, I was going to.
Right?
Yeah.
And one thing I forgot, I probably should have added. I think, I forgot. I remember it. When you talk about pivots, like when I left corporate, like Caroline, you've been the same thing, but listen to yourself too. You guys have been doing businesses for 30 years, right? 25 years. Like these are long runways, and most adults do that. Like when I left my last company, not this private equity. Like it's actually fine. There's more turnover in this current world. But when I left that, you start to look around your peer set. Not many people leave their jobs. Your Dave did. But like, if you just think about how sticky most adults do, and that's because guess what? Kids happen, life happens. You are doing whatever you do. And so there's not, and also by the way, Canadians are very sticky. My American colleagues, they definitely move around way, way, way more.
Yes.
So If
That's
you
just
want,
even geographical, university.
But what are you saying?
I'm just saying, if you want to make a move, you have to be intentional.
Yes.
This is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like, if you want to get your business, but here's my little PSA to everybody out there. Like, if you want to get your business to the next
You have to be intentional.
You have to be intentional. If you want to make a thing out of goals, if you want to
100%.
if you want to start this business, you have to go and be intentional and do it. Otherwise, just look around. Most people are just, and they're not, I wouldn't say they're coasting, but they're staying fairly status quo, especially Canadians.
Well, there's a stat too. There are stats, just like a divorce, just like if you don't do it by a certain age, you won't do it because you can't afford the fall. You're way gutsier when you're younger. You're way more brave,
100%.
and anyone that has gone into entrepreneurship has guts and is brave because it is scary. It is tumultuous.
No,
it is
bravery. Sure.
Yeah, like it is something that is not for everyone, and that's cool. But it is definitely something that you gotta do it, and you can do it any time. But there is stats that say if you don't do it by a certain time, the likelihood is you won't do it, and it just comes down to like stage of life, the money, responsibility, like all the things, right? And so you have to go with what feels right. Have a plan.
I think you're on. Did you think?
No, well,
that's not a bad thing. Listen, you would ask yourself 30 years ago.
It was super hard. I would say if you had asked me the first year, no.
Yeah.
The fifth year, probably not. But then you find a groove and a balance, and it allows you a luxury and of flexibility that I don't think you can get working for somebody else. And that was worth everything, all the tears, all the indecision, all the doubt, self-doubt, and that was worth everything. Is just stick with it because it will give you what you're looking for. You just have to be patient and ride it out. And there are ups and downs all the time. But going back to what you guys were talking about, like how you are, Caroline, you are, not the planner. And Deb is like, I know Deborah, she's probably got her little workbooks out. She's writing down all her second plans and stuff. I would say I'm both. Yeah, I'm both.
Yeah, me too.
I think I'm both. I like to look at the year. I like to touch in with all my network. I like to network with my clients and figure out where they're headed, so I know where I'm going. And yet, I still like to be reactionary. I think I'm a Libra, man. I'm like, it's a little bit of both. Balance, right? I'm a bit of both. What about you? Well, I know what you are. It's not. I'm surprised Laura hasn't figured 2028 out yet.
It's already. Yeah, I do. I'm a planner. I'm a insane planner. Like I sit down to relax and end up with 12 pages of a new business.
I know,
like,
but
like
sometimes I like the flexibility and being able to pivot. Like I like the flexibility of being that there's a gray area. It doesn't always have to be black and white.
Oh no, it's not black and white.
Where you're heading, it's that compass again. I just thought of a quote that I keep in my phone that's resonated with me since the time I read it. It's James Clear.
Are you gonna make me rise?
No.
Okay.
You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems.
That's right.
And that to me, because I'm not a planner, is my eyes reminder. And it's like you need systems in order to get to where you want to go. Because having a goal won't get you there. It's true.
My husband hears me saying one more time, my system is, this morning we're renovating the basement. There might have been a debacle this morning about something not being wrapped and there's some dust. And then I was like, well, my system is, if I have to hear your system one more time, like, but they work because guess what I do for a living? Like this is trust my systems, but I have a system for freaking laundry. Like I have a system for everything.
Like I said, maybe you need to get more gray.
Well, my gray comes when I hang out with you and Ubers, ladies. This is where my gray comes in.
And Adolfo,
we might have had a Uber debacle this weekend in Florida. So, yeah.
Oh, I love you too.
Yes, Adolfo, you were a rock star, literally. So these are yes. Do I have goals? Yes. And I do the year. I do 3 to 5. And the 3 to 5.
Systems.
My
God, I don't know anybody.
Systems.
Yeah. Laura is system.
I'm diligent.
You're really diligent.
Yeah. But that's work. That's like, yes, I just made a joke about laundry.
You write this in your life. You write this all the time. When you travel with her, she has a system for packing.
I do.
This product and a system for packing.
Which is why I was so uneasy all weekend because I didn't have a minute to put my luggage away. I don't know if you noticed. I was a bit like out of sorts because I was like, I just need to sit down for 5 minutes to put my luggage away.
It's like when I played Cam and Caroline and I lined up all my little roads and my thing, and she just comes right by and she just swipes it right off the table. No, sometimes you need to be flexible.
Right. Yeah, maybe. I'll put that into my 5-year plan. But that's, I would
like you to do that for your.
So I put my flexibility. Yeah. And you don't need like go back to doing
loose.
splits.
Yeah, no. Which should be a bit more loose.
That's how, this is the stage of my life right now where like there's a goal and we're getting there. And so I'm willing to sacrifice this for the outcome. Yeah. I'm in a growth season. I am in a very different, this is probably the deepest dive of all time for me.
Right.
Like right now. And so I'm in a place where if it's not systematically this way, then there's not enough hours in a day. Yeah. For me.
Well, and your team does too, because as a owner, if you're out doing just random things, they're looking to you for consistency, direction.
That's what systems. My systems are solid. So this is where the systems have allowed me that my team know what they're doing, that allow me to work on other things. So I can work on the business, not in the business, which is paramount right now.
Well, I admire what you've built. And I just realized that this podcast is like so listened to. Right. So congratulations.
Thank you.
That's pretty amazing.
Because that's just, there's people out there hungry for info like I was, right? And this didn't have, there wasn't enough, there wasn't this information. So I love the age that the next generations are coming up with all this knowledge that they're going to gain from people that have done it, as opposed to trying, you can't read this in a book and you can't learn. So I'm actually, envious that this is the world they're going to grow up in, where this is where they get to build businesses at a very different time. So you can benefit from all of this knowledge of 25 years of corporate and entrepreneurship that we all had to just dig in and do. And people just get to listen and absorb and learn a lot in a very short period of time. Imagine what you could have done with your businesses if we had podcasts and a ChatGPT bot and like what we could have done in a shorter period of time.
Or just somebody patting on the shoulder going, it's going to be okay.
Yeah, it's going to be okay. That leads into what is, I'm going to come back to that, what you just said. We're going to circle back to that. But what keeps you excited after all these years in business? Chris?
Oh, I've been away. I've been away for a couple of weeks. I've been away for a couple of weeks, but I feel so happy and excited to be home because I like routine. I like my job. I love my people. I love my staff. I love doing what I do. I love that. I love it. And I'm happy to be back home doing that. Cause you go away and it's a little loosey goosey for me. And I like a routine. I like my own personal system that I have. I love what my day to day it looks like.
I love what I do. Period. I just enjoy
it. Fills my bucket, fills your bucket. And I know it fills Deb's bucket, right?
I enjoy helping people help them get to where they want to go. So I can't see myself not doing that.
Yeah, I love to work. I confess that already, but I love to learn. I love to meet new people. I love to help businesses grow. I love to solve problems. So there's just so much. And so for me, and I'm totally in discovery and exploratory about where I'm going to go next. And it's been pretty fun. See, and now because you just talk to people and people have ideas and you're like, I never would have thought about someone actually right now is trying to get me to seriously, it's making me laugh, to seriously think about being an advisor essentially, or in the capital markets. And I'm like, never have I ever. And I'm like, I'm not a business developer. I'm a business grower. I'll find businesses to buy. I'll find teams to back. I'll find growth plans and strategy plans. But I am not one to build a book of business like yourselves. I'm not the sales like that now. But they're like, you should think about it. And that tickles me because I'm kind of I'm like, I can't do, I'm not saying I can't do it. I'll never say I can't do something. I'm like, that's just not me. But then I kind of go, maybe this is something I should think about because this person keeps coming, coming back and returning to me. So I'm like, maybe I should just pause and I like that. I like change. I like difference. I like new challenges. So it's another thing. This is fun. Right?
Learning something.
But don't you find we tell our kids, let's just find something that you love to do, right?
Yeah.
I think that's really important. I think it's really important. Maybe it's not you can show up your love. I know I love painting, but I love a project.
I love many things. And I can't love many girls or boys or people, but at once, but you can love but you can change your love too.
Yeah. But I love my husband, but I like my husband. So maybe it's about finding something that you want to do that you really, really like. You don't have to like like the minutia of it, but I love the flexibility. I love meeting my people. I love going on site. I love new projects. Right.
So that's the thing that, Christy, that's exactly right. Because like, I think when people say, oh, follow your passion, well, you know what? Not everyone's a creative cat. Like they go looking across the room like you guys are that can go, oh, I'm going to go like, well, not everyone's that. So like you can find a passion. But to your point, you should always look back at when you were well, for me, when I was singing, humming, sailing, whatever I was doing, where you're like, that was so fun. And why was it fun? Just kind of always ask yourself, well, what was it about that specific project? What was it about that corporate environment? What was it about that? Because then you get the cues on what you really like to do.
That's right.
And it can be more varied than you realize when you're like, oh, it's that setting, it's that type of challenge, it's that whatever it is. And then you okay, I'm going to keep playing there.
I would add to that and say that's also how I think when you have really great clients. This understanding what clients you work with, where you'd be able to build a relationship.
Oh, yes.
And then go and find that. I mean, I know there's the whole ideal client, blah, 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 but it really is understanding yourself and how you attract the people and what you get from other people, and then being able to like individually go and find more of that.
Those people. Absolutely. Yeah.
Because it just doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I knew it's so random, which I like to be. I was like, here comes a fly in a, but I knew squirrel. I knew my daughter was going to love software coding for a summer because she was creative. She was an artistic gal, and I knew there was enough creation in that was going to end issue. Like she could do it, but she didn't know she'd love it. She ended up loving it because guess what? She created a project with the team, and I was like, I knew it. I knew you were going to like it because you're creative and you like to create. But it was more that than she's not going to want. She doesn't want to be a software coder developer, but I would say it was more that you got that experience again. You got to do in different settings. So you got to kind of help them. Help yourself and help others sort of.
The only way they're going to try and figure out life and what they want to do is by trying things. Yeah. I get less and less opportunity, I find these days, right? Like there's less and less options for them to try more things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like you too. I mean, you've got projects that you really loved working on and others that you're like, oh, I'm not so sure about. Yeah. And then you just need to create and try and find more of those that you really, really liked.
Yeah. And like to Caroline's point, like a lot of my clients, we've become friends, and like it's a hard line not to cross over because I get invited to like Christmas parties and like, you know, I get invited to a lot of things. And so you want to go because you have such a lovely time, but then at some point they're going to call to do another project. And then there's this weird line. So I've always had to keep my distance, but there's been lots of my clients where it could have been very easily integrated into my world.
Relationships are the strength.
Yeah.
As is strength.
Yes.
Right. And I think maybe
and you can feel it. Like you feel it.
A little bit more cognizant about like the lines that you have with people. I'm not overstepping thing or that's business and this is pleasure. And now I just realize like it's relationships.
My fertility doctor I met at a cocktail party 6 months prior. I mean, honestly, a good conversation because 6 months later we're staring at each other and he's like, did we meet each other?
Was he staring at you or your like lady parts at the time?
Oh my God.
It was fine. What? It was not when she
we were at a cocktail party.
And then after that, 6 months later, was he like birthing you? Like what's happening? And I met him and he's like, did we meet before? Oh, I understand.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm like, yeah, I think we were at this so-and-so's party.
And now I want you to look at my vagina.
And no, he said, are you cool? And I said, actually, yeah. I was like, whatever. I'll catch your feet in these stripes. Let's do it.
I think you're cool. You see your vagina anytime.
I don't know. He just asked me if we could change whatever the cocktail party relationship and just professionalism, whatever. Physician page. I was like, okay. And
oh my God, that's a good one.
And then I made it, by the way, back to like, guess what? We invested for Shelly businesses. So guess who's back into my life 15 years later. And
that's interesting.
Everybody's business. It's just circle.
For sure.
And now we're trying to get, and he wants to play Catan.
Oh my God.
We don't play Catan with boys. It's like the biggest rule. Or he could not believe that I heard doctor. He could not believe that I could play Catan. So I'm looking places I go signs me out with those ladies. And I was like, I don't know. People should be salesy. But I think relationships are key. They're key. Yeah, they're key for me. They're
Should we fill the listeners in to know that you guys play a Catan league? Like with each other.
Right.
I am not part of this league, but this is something that a bunch of you guys all play together once a month. And they're very competitors. There might be some shit
the waiting list.
There might be. We have a lot of leagues.
It's a lot of fun.
I mean, I think that's something to be said. I'm off topic a little bit, but like when you find people that you enjoy, like we all have, and you have community and you have outlets like Catan, and we all play Mahjong together, and we all play golf on Mondays for 6 months of the year together. And we might have all just got home this week from Florida from girls' weekend. Like these are all things that like.
But can imagine if you had that
better
if you had that relationship, not that personal, but if you had as good a relationship with your clients, like think of it, like
I do
your people, and so do I, and I think that is very important
Majority.
to my business and to me.
In corporate life, or like in our lives too. Like you just find people to have fun with.
Yeah.
I have to back to my next thing. I also like end the conversation with a lot of people like, I also just want to have fun. Like here's a news flash. I'm gonna work hard, but sure, this is gonna be fun.
But I'm an introvert, so I don't know.
I'm an introvert. Said no one ever about you. All right, rapid fire. Let's see if we can wrap this one up. Has there been any book that has changed how you think about business or do business?
Go to somebody else first, Laura.
Okay, I'm pointing at you, Caroline. No, that's cool. I'm throwing this at you.
Anything by Brené Brown, Terry Rately is really power vulnerability from a TED Talk perspective has profoundly impacted my life.
Atomic Habits. Yes, that's what Iron. I could totally say that. Yeah, Atomic Habits.
Good to great.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of businesses fail to collect. That's what we always remember that, and that's one that resonates the most.
Is there any podcasts you listen to regularly? It doesn't have to be business related. It could just be fluff.
The Diary of the CEO.
I love that.
Oh, do you want to like that one too?
I think that's Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yes.
Why
is it to me? And I do like the Amy Poehler one. I think she's great. And I like fluff. I like it.
I do
a little serious.
Murder. What is this called now?
Oh yeah, you put me on one.
Oh my God, one of them
where the guy's penis got like cut off. And I'm like, after that, I'm like, I can't listen
that
to
was
this.
like a little, no pun intended. It's a very small point of this, but true crime.
She doesn't have to listen to
Once
this.
in a while, I need to like, need sometimes. Okay, so I have all the things. I have the satellite radio. I got the app. Sometimes I get sick of music, and then other times I get sick of business, and I just want something fluffy. Or if I'm driving at 6 a.m. to a cottage location and I can't make a phone call, can't do anything, I will like listen to. And so some of these true crime ones, and I listen to everything on 2 times speed. So it's a bit Alvin and the Chipmunky, but like I can get a lot of information fast, and there's some fluff. And so that one was a bit psycho. But
I'm on the phone the whole time I'm in the car. So
but I can't be at 6, 7 a.m. Unless I'm calling you. Who else am I going to call?
It's usually me.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a resource like you have that quote that you come back to again and again? Is there something else that you come back? Like I had the Richard Branson time on the side of my screen that I look at every morning. Is there anything that you come back to again and again for a little refresh?
Yeah, well, I'm embarrassed, but I'll acknowledge it. I mean, I told you guys a little bit about Danaher. I mean, Danaher Business System, there's a lot of good little nuggets in here. Like we were talking about standard work. What does that mean? Just making easy work predictable, so you don't have to think about it. So then you can go on, and then there's other things like go to Gemba. What does that mean? If you're gonna make a decision or opinion about something, go to site, go to see it. Like so, there's just a lot of those. I hate to say it, like those learnings from Danaher and how what good and really good looks like in running a business. Those are probably all my touchstones.
The other one I live by is the speed to the lead. It's this one thing that I repeat over and over and over. Yeah. The faster you can get something back to someone, keep them excited, the better chance you have of closing that deal.
Conversion, yeah.
That's one thing and it always gets done. Those are my like 3 top. I have never if I'm feeling the pressure or we're going on a vacation, you got to get all this done. I have to stop myself and say, it always gets done. I have never let someone down, and it's never finished. It gets done. And you always say, make it happen. Yeah, or if you say it, make it happen. I'll make it happen.
I always make it happen. Yeah, you do say that a lot.
I just make it happen.
Yeah.
That's what
I actually have that on my desk too. Make it happen.
make it happen.
Okay, so if someone was listening today, we're going to wrap this up, and they were stuck, unsure, what would you tell them? What advice could you give them about their business?
Build a team. Build a team. Build a team of people around you, whether they are friends, associates, staff. Build a good team. And I really invest in relationships. I think it's really, really important to invest in relationships, invest the time. But that's me, that's the in this room that is sums me up. And you would strive for balance. I think balance is really important. You might not always feel like you're achieving it, like what Caroline says. There are seasons, but try for balance.
He's not the software.
Yeah.
For me, it's making really sure and clear that you understand your own values and whether your family values are the launch pad for your business's values or if they're separate. But when you're stuck in a business as an owner or a decision, using your values can always be an anchor to me, and you will never go wrong if you're following your values. So it would be that, and surrounding yourself with people that are your trusted advisors, the people you can go to, have a community. And then the third is you're inside the business would be don't sell for B and C players.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Media players.
That's a good one. Very good. Stay curious. Always. So start asking why. If you're stuck around something, why was I trying to get to the root cause? But stay curious. Always be moving. Just progress. Making progress will get you unstuck. And continuous improvement. I mean, I came from a business that we always could be better. And that's how they outperform the stock market for whatever, 30, 40 years. They love it. They love it. It's true. But I always have that continuous improvement mindset. So even if you feel like you're in your bad zone, no, you can be better or you can do better, but so can your business. So just, you're never going to beat up people. Just always be improving.
Yeah, those are really good.
What would you tell your 30-year-old self, Caroline? Yeah, it's a toughie. 30. Like, I don't know what you were. Third, I was partnered with Brogue, so.
That's what about me, motorcycle.
I'm sorry. Pardon me?
I did not know this. Did you know that? Of course I was. How long did you have it for?
I've known her for 9 years.
Oh, I have Brandon.
Did you ask for it?
Yeah.
Yes. That's so cute.
Caroline Featherstone. What?
Yes. Yeah.
That is so cool. I don't know.
We should
keep on cycling.
At that point.
Keep on cycling.
Yeah, you want to tell my 30-year-olds, don't give out that stupid license. I never got it converted to I had the temporary M license and I was supposed to take it into the ministry and get it added to my license formally. And I never did. And I lost it.
I'm having visions of you showing up with a golf bag on your back on a motorcycle.
So what are you saying? Like, tease that out. Are you saying like
that's not getting it on her license? She would be riding a motorcycle.
So maybe keep your passions or something.
Are you like, it's not passions? No, is it like, no, it's like fearlessness? Organized. Oh, geez. Okay. I was just pointing somewhere
I
else.
thought she was fearless too, because that's dangerous to be right.
I don't think I've given up some of that piece. Be more organized. I would say be really focused and pay attention more.
Chris, 30-year-old self.
Don't worry about being thin. Be strong. Be strong.
Like physically.
It helps your mental state, and be strong. Go lift the weights. It's important. It is for a woman who's going through perimenopause. Don't worry about the high intensity stuff. Just go lift your weights. Be strong. Be strong. Mentally, physically, emotionally. Be strong.
30, young, striving, keep learning and be yourself. You know what? I was told many times my giggling is not corporate speak, be more serious when you're at the board or whomever. And I am serious, but I do have a giggle. I like to keep it light and fun, but you know what? At the end of the day, just keep being yourself and it will just play out just fine.
Love that.
I would say, in all seriousness, keep listening to your gut, because that's how I got here.
Yes.
Is by making that bold move.
Yes.
Continue to be bold is what I would say, because it served me well.
Challenge yourself, be yourself, Yeah. Love that.
That
And do it with wings.
and if it is be strong. And Sim for him. You wait. Being strong is going to serve you well.
You're apart in age. What do you mean you wait?
We're just it's important. It's important because things go to shit physically.
And now we have the explicit button. There it is.
I think it's important to be
So
strong.
thought it was going to be you.
I think it's important to be strong. But strength of body does also strength of mind and strength of emotion and strong.
One other thing, Laura, I would say is keep your touchstones. And people change through life or things change in life. But I don't know why it came up, but it's like people know I like Snoopy. It's so stupid, but it's endearing because I've liked Snoopy since I was 4 years old. So I must say, like, Snoopy's one of my people. Like it sounds so silly though, but I mean it's like you gotta like if you're ever really low, you gotta have things that just are simple. I don't care if it's a chocolate cake that just get you back to comfort. Like keep your comforts. Like you just gotta know because
I have a question for you. Do you think you could have done what you did professionally if you didn't have Alf in your corner? Alf is her husband, who is super supportive.
So when you kind of walked into that one, now there's a lot of pressure.
Yes, I think I could have because I believe yes.
With Olivia, with being a mom.
Yes, I 100% think I could have because I've seen enough people who've been in different situations and been able to succeed with different support situations. But I'll tell you, like, it sure has cut away a lot of fat, a lot of, friction, things like that.
Which it is making it.
Sure. So none of us said it, but you do. You need a great partner. I mean, she has to die out right. I said it, but you do. Like, you need great partners in life. And the fact, but, you can say that with hindsight. We all love Alf, and I do love him very much. However, the however here is just the fact that, his work life situation different than my work life situation. Who knows what I'd be doing right now if I was more mobile, meaning his business keeps him more local. That's for the folks on the phone. So on the phone. Or on the podcast. But who knows what I could have done different.
I was just trying to I'm just saying clear you toward, but I think that everybody here has very supportive.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think that has been.
But God forbid, if anything, so that is why I changed my business because my uncle died at 53, and I remember being on a vacation with Derek, and he was 53, and his wife and his children, everything turned upside down. And so Derek, my husband, and I both own our own businesses, and that was the moment my business changed. I remember thinking, if something happened to him, our whole world would change because I was very part-time. The kids were very little. And we would have to move on top of. So anything, I kept thinking, as soon as something would happen now, our whole world would turn upside down. And I didn't want that for the boys. And that was the catalyst that was the day the business took off in a different way because it needed to. It needed to be more profitable. It needed to be that I was always just, as long as it replaced the salary that I left, it was okay because we could sustain that. And that was the day it was and that's not going to work for me anymore. And it was that because if something happened to him, yes, he's supportive. Yes, but I didn't want to be reliant on somebody else to.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yes.
I see what you're saying. I also would add that it's when you're doing early mornings or when you're traveling or when you're on a call or when you have a late customer that you have to see at night.
Gosh.
All these things.
Or can you go get the kids? Or
I just think we've all been very fortunate to have a very supportive partner. And I mean, I don't know if I give my husband enough shout out that I've been able to do what I've been able to do because of him too. Well, and he's been able to do what he does because of me. Absolutely. Yeah. So I just wanted to say, I think we all have very supportive partners. Is something very common here.
Yeah. The funny what made me valuable for corporations, Chrissy, was because guess what? In the summer, my guys, I'm on farm widow, so guess who can work hard in the summer when everyone else is writing off? Guess.
Button number 2. Don't get it.
But when everyone else is, guess who? Oh, Deb's around, Deb's available. Part of that is because I support him. So with his farm ambition.
So exactly.
So that made me who knew that would be something of value because I was a huge call upon at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and both of you have the other element too, where your spouse, I don't working 24-hour shifts, right? firefight like that, something where you were kind of on your, like, could be 4 days straight, could be like, yeah.
Young kids in a yin yang situation. Yeah, I think it's really important to, for the listeners to that is, it's been very important. I think, who you partner with is really important.
Oh yeah,
and be supportive in all different facets.
There's noisemakers, like that's the thing, right? Like that should be a signal again. Like if you're getting noisemakers in your life, come on, you can't have it.
Last question, ladies. Long-term success really comes from ...
Oh, long-term success comes from
like 30 years in business. Everybody's sitting here. So
long-term success. I'm not sure that you gave us these questions before we read it.
I'll say here's my hard work and humility.
It's mine too. Hard work. I actually don't know any entrepreneurs that are successful. And I mean that in more ways than one. I don't just mean money. Yes, the freedom that comes with that is not hardworking, long hours. Like you don't get much from nothing.
No.
Caroline is deep in thought. Deep thoughts with Caroline. And Chrissy is breaking out. Chrissy's breaking out the computer.
So I did make some notes because Laura did give us a little question.
Long-term success really comes from.
So, okay. I think long-term success comes from hard work. I think it comes from surrounding yourself with people around you that you can count on and have good relationship with. But I think that it's about trying to achieve balance and having fun. Because in the end, like, so my grandfather, who I absolutely adored, he was an amazing human, but, worked all his life, came to this country. I'm first generation Canadian, came to this country with $7 in his pocket and did extremely well for himself. But he worked every day, Saturdays, Sundays. But, the one thing he said to me was, go and have fun while you can. Go and have fun before you're taking a bag of pills with you or a cane or a wheelchair. Go and have fun. And I think that that's important.
Yeah. I would say work ethic that I learned from my father. That is a huge part of why I'm where I am. Hard work would be another one, and integrity. So doing what I said I would do and with quality. I think the quality piece, like I've got probably the worst Instagram. Actually, I don't have even on work Instagram. I've got the worst social media. I have nothing. All right. I don't even have a great website. I've built my business on referrals. Press in 100%. As a 100%. But that is the ability to produce quality work and be somebody that they could rely on.
Integrity. Yeah, that's integrity.
I think continuing learning too, which is what we're all doing. But to both your points, with all the money and effort and time and crap that goes into social media, to date, still have never gotten one client from it. So kudos to you.
Really?
Not once. Seriously. Not once.
So when we
Just money, time, and effort.
Messages, you're like my dad watched.
Really, Laura?
We don't, People, of course, go and look at it and we'll find out after. Well, we looked at, I like this picture you posted here and they'll show it to us, but that wasn't the catalyst that got them to us. So we're still heavy referral based.
So I'm like Caroline, I don't have
FYI. So don't give yourself some grace because it doesn't actually mean anything if.
So right. I just like Caroline. Durrell P does not have a social media presence. We have a website, but truly all of our clients, our relationships, our projects are all word of mouth. And it's because I would rather make less and make sure that the project gets done and that the person is extremely happy beyond anything else. Relationships.
Well, I just have to say thank you. Thank you for spending your time. Thanks. I know how much your time is worth. And I just want to say thank you. I always enjoy spending time with you. I know this is a bit different for us, but I think it's really valuable.
And congratulations to you. Congratulations to you for building such a successful podcast. I think it's awesome.
Thank you. But thank you for giving your time because I know it's a lot on a full out snow day in Toronto to drive in the snow to my house with your time and your effort and 2-3 hours away from work.
Hearing things were all very different. I thought,
that's why I thought it would work.
New to the entrepreneurial world. And then you and I, who are, veterans, dinosaurs, seasoned.
Or season.
Okay, we'll go seasoned. I just think it's great.
And you've been doing this a long time now.
It's 8 years.
8 years. Yeah.
Oh, I remember. Okay, just for the record, who was really kicking you in the ass to go do this?
Yeah, well, you kick me in the ass a lot.
I told her for years.
That's love, actually. That's her love language. Showing off her muscles. Her strength.
That's a good point, though, because I think for other entrepreneurs, like, listen to the people around you, listen to the cues that you get around you. Yes, I had people in my corporate job saying, "You should do more of this. And why, you can do this, and why are you even here? You should be out."
They were highlighting your strengths.
They were highlighting my strengths and appreciating it and encouraging me to do something different. And then I had people kind of on the home front, like Chris and and my husband. Yeah, like I say, listen to those people, and if things are coming up in your world like repeatedly, there's a reason for it. And even if it's client selection or niches that you're going into or a system or like it could be anything. I just think it's so important to listen to that. It's happening for a reason.
Yeah, I agree.
There's cues.
Listening
to this podcast.
Well, exactly. You're seeking information. You're looking to further your destiny, which I always applaud. Yeah.
So basically, they've learned, do the weights, have fun. And if you see your gynecologist 10 years later,
it's okay. You can discuss your tan together.
It's okay. You may have seen your machine, but it's okay. I know probably stand. Oh gosh, that's so fun.
Oh my God. That minded lady. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.